Hi, it's Donna Robertson with Fabric Cafe. Let's start this year out right with the top 10 best-selling patterns from Fabric Cafe. Keep watching. Hi, it's Donna Robertson with Fabric Cafe. When we first introduced 3-yard quilts, we had no idea that they would take the world by storm. The quilting community loves these patterns and quilts because they go together easily, and as one customer said, it makes it look like I really did something, but they're super easy. So today we're going to talk about the top 10 selling patterns from Fabric Cafe. These are the go-to patterns that people tell us over and over. I'm going to make a quilt from this one. Now, all of our patterns are either from one of our books. We have 9 different books. Every book has 8 patterns, and every pattern is written for 3 different sizes. When you're purchasing a kit, you always get one single pattern free, or you can skip taking the little pattern. When you buy 3 kits, you can take one of our books free instead. Now, if you're looking for a great stash buster, then the books are $15.99 each, and you'll get all of those 8 patterns. Now let's look at our most popular 3-yard quilt patterns. The first one is called So Quick, and it is called that because it just really is so quick. It's a great beginner pattern, but it's also awesome for experienced quilters who just need a quilt in a hurry. I like to tell the story about my sister. When she retired, she said, I want to make a quilt. And so I picked out some chicken fabric because she had just gotten chickens and sent her this pattern. And she made it in 6 hours. She called me and she said, is that normal? I made that quilt in 6 hours. So I always like sharing that story. Now this fabric has chickadees on it, but we are out of this fabric. Instead, we have some absolutely gorgeous fabric here that we want to show you that would make up and look so good in this particular quilt. This one is called Brightly Blooming. Has a beautiful watercolor look to the fabric. This is your focus fabric. It will go in the number 1 spot. The number 1 spot is going to be your largest area of your quilt showing. The number 2 and 3 fabric, you compare those and you pick out the lightest for your 2 and the darkest for your 3. So we have focus fabric 1, we have our light, and that's a beautiful watercolor look that goes with this fabric. And then we have our number 3 fabric, or the green leaves. This would be gorgeous. And this one is called Brightly Blooming 802 White. It is the quilt pattern called So Quick. It's also available in the Quilt Favorites book. Quilt Favorites book is a downloadable pattern book. If you want to order it or get it free with 3 kits, then you will get a code so you can download it. The next one that we're going to show you is Corner Play. I originally designed this for the Modern Quilt magazine, and then the rights reverted to me after it went in the magazine. So I came out with an individual pattern, and it's also in our book, Pretty Darn Quick. It is a very popular pattern, has a great design to it, and it looks good in just about any kind of fabric that you want to put in it. So this one is called Cashmere Magic, and this is the same fabric that's in the quilt. You can see how gorgeous this is. It's your largest print, so that's going to go in your number 1 spot of your pattern, and this is the number 1 spot. So you can see how it kind of frames the design. Now your number 2 fabric is the lightest of the 2 remaining. That one is your background, so that becomes the background so that your quilt design really shows up nicely. Your number 3 fabric is going to go here, and it's also going to be in the border. So that is Cashmere Magic 8020709. That is the Corner Play pattern, or it's available in the book Pretty Darn Quick. Now I have another one for Pretty Darn Quick. So you saw this one and how it went together. This one would be so fun. It is a last chance. There's only 4 of these kits left. This would be great for a beach house. This would be your number 1 fabric going in the number 1 position. Then you compare these two. Your lightest one is your number 2. So this is great. It's kind of like your plants that are growing in the sea. And then you have your number 3 fabric, which is going to go here and in your border. That'll be a lot of fun. Now, it is a last chance. There are only 4 of these remaining. The number is 8020697. Coral Reef. Corner Play is your pattern, and it's in the book Pretty Darn Quick. The next one is called Gallery. Gallery is one of my favorite patterns. I just really like it a lot. And it shows off stripes very nicely. So if you like to use stripes like I like using stripes, this is a perfect one for that. And I named it Gallery because it made me think of those display photos where you put a photo and then it's got a ribbon and then another photo. And so I just called it Gallery because I thought that was a good name for a pattern that had that design to it. All right, now here's your fabric for this one. This one's called Study in Neutrals, and this is great. It has this abstract kind of design here with the circles and the buttons. It's just a fun fabric. That would be your number 1 fabric, and this is one of those patterns where I put the number 1 fabric so that it falls in the borders. I just like that look. It's also the center here of the motif. Then you've got your 2 remaining, so your number 2 is your lightest. It's going to go here. Your number 3 is your darkest, and it will be the border of the blocks, and it also is the center here. And if you'll notice, this long stripe is going to be cut. Everywhere it's shown in the quilt, it's cut on its side, so you don't have long runs of a stripe. You just have the shorter pieces. This one is called Study in Neutral. 802030 is your number, and it is Gallery pattern. It's also available in the book Modern Views. Now, the next one that we're going to look at is Stepping Stones. When I first came out with this one, it kind of surprised me a lot because I put it on Pinterest, and it was pinned over 100,000 times within the first 6 or 8 months. It was amazing how quickly this pattern went viral on Pinterest. No telling how many now. They don't show me the numbers. I think they had a hard time trying to trace how many people had pinned this one, but it has certainly been a popular pattern. Now we have some magnificent fabric. And so this is so magnificent that we actually named the quilt Magnificent. So this is your number 1 fabric. This will be your focus fabric, and that will go in this large square. Your number 2 fabric is going to be this portion, and the number 3 fabric will be your stepping stones that are marching up on your quilt. So those are your 3 fabrics for this one. It is a gorgeous fabric, and the number is 8021007. And it is Magnificence made with stepping stones, which is in the book Pretty Darn Quick. The next one's called Bold Blocks. And I did this one because so many people love the big 10-inch blocks for showing off their novelties. Now, I don't have this fabric, but we've got some great fabric to show you over here. We want you to see how the quilt is made up. It has an asymmetrical design because I've put the shadow borders on different sides of the blocks. We'll put that one up here. And we have some new fabric from Quilting Treasures. So let's show you this. It's going to be adorable in this. Okay, so these are ladybugs. And the ladybugs, of course, are going to be your focus fabric. They'll go in the large block. And then your 2 remaining, you've got your light. That's going to be in this background here. And then for your shadow of the blocks and your borders will be your red. So this one is called Ladybug Love, 8021006. Bold Blocks is your pattern. It's available as an individual. It's also available in Pretty Darn Quick. Now, you've seen several that are from the Pretty Darn Quick book, so that would be a great one for you to get free when you buy 3 kits. Just pick Book Deal, and put the name of the book you want in the comments section. This one is Sugar Pie. And this particular one is great for showing off your little motif. And I liked it because it looked like those little candies where they have the little twist papers on the edge. So when I finished designing that one, I named it Sugar Pie. Now this is the fabric. We don't have any more of the great pink motif that we have here, but we have some pretty, pretty daisies and bumblebees. So this is your focus fabric. It's going to go in the large block. Then you'll put this bright yellow polka dot. That's going to be in your background. And then your black polka dot is going to be your borders. This is going to be absolutely adorable. And this would be a good one to make into a twin size. Sugar Pie is a little bit smaller quilt. It's only 54 inches long. And that's just because of the way the fabric has to be utilized. So you could either use a different pattern if you wanted to, because any 3 yards works with any pattern that I write, or you could make it into a twin size if you really like this by using 2 kits. 8020815 is your kit number. Busy Bee Sugar Pie is the pattern we're recommending, and that's also from the Pretty Darn Quick book. The next one is Heartland. Heartland is another one that has been so popular. It kind of gives you that look that you would get with the Civil War fabric, but look how great it looks in a more modern fabric. And this particular fabric is called Friends and Family, and I designed this fabric for the Quilting Treasures Fabric Company. So let's put that up here. And friends and family are very important to me. I have to say I just get real soft-hearted when it comes to all my friends and family. So I asked if we could do a fabric like this, and it has been so very popular. I call it Say It with a Quilt. You want to tell them that you love them and that they're special to you. This is a great fabric for that. It's going to go in the number 1 spot for your focus fabric. And then here we've got a vine with a little purple berry that ties in the purple of your number 3 fabric. I really like the way this quilt turned out. And it is called Family and Friends 801957. It's made with the Heartland pattern, and that too is from the Pretty Darn Quick book. Now the next one is called Porch Rails. Here's another one that just goes together really fast. We've got a rail fence block and then a solid block. And we spend a lot of time on our porch in the nice weather. And I was trying to name this quilt, and I said, well, this is the rails for my porch that I'm sitting out on. I have to really stretch with 100 quilts. I have to stretch when I come to naming them because I start feeling like I've run out of words. But this one is a real popular quilt. Okay, this one. We do not have this farm animal, but we do have this farm animal. So the quilt fabric is gone, but this would be great. And we managed to get some pigs and horses and cows and chickens for our focus fabric. That's going to go in your square. And then this little petite paisley is going to go where the light blue is. And then your dark blue, and look at this, it has chickens, or roosters, I guess it is, on the blue. So that'll be really pretty. It'll go where the rust color is. This one is called Barnyard Friends 8020663. Porch Rails is your pattern. Pretty Darn Quick is the book. Okay, now sticking with the porch rails, we have some pieces and parts. So let's look at that. Now this is the book. We keep talking about Pretty Darn Quick. This one is a great book. It actually has 8 of our most popular patterns in here. So you can see why I keep showing you this one. It's been very, very popular. Here's the pattern. And every time you get ready to make one of my quilts, just remember 1 kit will make a lap. Then we have instructions in the book. 2 kits will make a twin. 4 kits will make a king queen. We have Brave and Beautiful, Miss Belle. All right, so our focus fabric is Belle, and she's going to be in our number 1 position. The number 1 position is always your largest block or your largest area that's showing. Then our number 2 fabric is this light, and the light will really help you to see your design. Let me turn it the right way here. And here are my other 2. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how those work out. Let me crop that so we can have the farm friends to go away, and we'll be able to see this a little bit better. So that'll be really cute. Some little girl's going to be real excited about getting that. Okay, let's look at these fabrics. And we showed you Belle, and then we've got this cream color to match the background here. And this is your number 3 with that gold that will coordinate. And it has just a little bit of brown in it to go with her hair. Okay, this one is called Brave and Beautiful. Porch Rails is your pattern. It's from the book Pretty Darn Quick. The next one is called It's a Snap. And once again, it's from the Pretty Darn Quick book. So this one has cascading squares, and it has been truly very popular. It's a very beautiful fabric that we've got this made up in, but it looks good with most of your fabrics. The key to this one, let's put that one up here. The key to this one is that you get that really light number 2. You want it to be quite a contrast with your other 2 colors. Do we still have some of this kit?
We do.
This
called Eastern Skies.
Okay, this kit is called Eastern Skies. We still do have this fabric, but we have a new fabric to show you as well. So let's move this one over here. This is the new fabric we've recently gotten in, so we want to share that with you. This would be your number 1 fabric. It would go in your largest block. Your number 2 fabric would go in the background, and you can see the contrast between these 3 fabrics. That's going to go here in your background. And then your number 3 is your darkest. That will be in this darker area. It will also be in your border. So there you have It's a Snap, 8021005 Mirage, and that is the individual pattern, or it's in the book Pretty Darn Quick. Now the next one is called Through the Window Again, and this one looks like you're just looking out window panes, doesn't it? Out at the garden. And this particular fabric is another fabric that I designed for Quilting Treasures fabric. So let's take a look at it. It too has been very popular. It's a bright fabric, and it has 2 of my favorite colors. It has the purple and the greens, and then it's got some teals in there as well. So this is your number 1 fabric. That's going to be in the half square triangles, or what we've made here, and then they're sashed. Here's your other half square triangle over here. Now these little blocks, this sashing is actually done in strip piecing. You're not going to be cutting little bitty squares. I actually sew larger pieces together with a skinny piece, and then we cut them, and you aren't sewing little bitty squares together at all. Here's your number 2 fabric. That's the background that really makes your design pop. And then your number 3 is your border and your sashing. So that one is called Window Garden. The number is 801959, Window Garden, Through the Window Again, and it has the individual pattern, or in the book Pretty Darn Quick. So that was kind of a review of our most popular patterns. It is amazing how much people enjoy these, and you probably will enjoy them as well, or you've already started enjoying them. We have 9 different books. 2 of them are download only. When you buy 3 kits, you can take a book free if you'd like, or you can have 1 individual pattern for every kit. Be sure to visit us at fabriccafe.com. And if you haven't already done so, be sure to click down below and subscribe. We would love to have you as a subscriber. And when you do that, every time we put a new video up, you'll get notifications so that you can rush right over there and look at them. So it's Donna Robertson with Fabric Cafe. Have an awesome day.